Good morning. We're going to be starting Unit 13. You should have your Unit 13 packet. Looks just like this that you picked up from my classroom. The first lesson in this unit is called Box and Whisker Plots. And if you look at your first page, it gives you a little bit of preview of what the box and whisker plot looks like. You've got the mean, median, and mode, which you should have known already from middle school. You have the lower extreme, which is your smallest value. We also call it the minimum. You have the upper extreme, which is the largest value, which is called, another word for it is the maximum. Then you have the lower quartile, which is the median of the first half of values. And if you look in your packet on the bottom part of it, it gives you a picture of your box and whisker plot. It also shows you where it's labeled your lower extreme, your lower quartile, your median, upper quartile, and upper extreme, which is also here on our smart board. So again, we're talking about statistics, box and whisker plots. You have, what are they? A box and whisker plot is a way of showing the range of the data among quartiles. Notice that every quartile has the same percentage, 25%. Doesn't matter how many or what kind of numbers they are. The numbers here are 25% of your data. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a set of data and we're going to create our own box and whisker plot. So go ahead and flip the page to page 2. Alright, so it says here, create your own box and whisker plot. So they give us the data here, and from that we're going to be able to answer these questions. What is the lower extreme? What is the lower quartile? The median, the upper extreme, and the upper quartile. And we're going to be able to take that data and transform and make and create our own box and whisker plot. In order for us to do that, I'm going to show you how to do that in your calculator. So step 1 in your calculator, you're going to turn the calculator on, which I've done. First we have to turn on the stat plot. So we're going to hit second and y equals, and you're going to hit enter, enter. And what that does is it takes it from off to on. The other part of this is that you have to turn on your box and whisker plot. And so typically we have this one here first that's highlighted. But we need this box and whisker plot here to be highlighted. So you can slide that over until you get there and hit enter. And notice this changes. Also notice that this gets highlighted. Once you have turned on your setup and your stat plot and your box and whisker plot, now you can start by entering your data. So something that we've done before, you're going to hit stat and edit. And so now we're going to enter the data that they've given us. So if you want to pause the video for a second, enter the numbers in, and then hit play again. I've typed in my numbers all the way down. The good thing about this is it doesn't have to be in numerical order. So now from this step, we're going to hit stat and go over to calc. So everybody, you should be going from stat and then going over to calc. And the only way I can think of for you to remember this is because we have only one column of numbers. Keep in mind this is a one variable stat. So please write that down in your notes. In order for us to get this, you're going to hit stat, we'll go over to calc, and this is option number 1. Option number 1. Once you get to option number 1, all you do is hit enter, and you want it to calculate. Now don't freak out because you're going to see a lot of numbers, but I'm going to show you what these numbers are and what's important. The first one that's really important is this one right here. That is your mean. So on your paper, if you want, on the top left somewhere, just add that to it. And add the symbol to it. Notice that the mean is the X with the bar across it. Later on, we're going to talk about this symbol right here, which is your standard deviation. But I'm not going to mess with that today. I'll mess with that in another video. What I want you to do is we're going to scroll down. So just hit the down arrow key until you can't get any further. So on your calculator, scroll all the way down until you can't get any further. So let's look at some of the things we have here. We have 8 numbers. we have the minimum, we have the first quartile, the median, the third quartile, and the max. Those are 5 numbers. Don't we have 5 blanks here to fill in?
Yeah.
Well, let's start. The lower extreme is your minimum. So that's your lower extreme. Fill it in. That's 40. The lower quartile, and if you want on your paper here, lower quartile, make a note, that is Q1. Q1, that's your lower quartile, which is 47.5. Your median is 67.5. Your upper quartile, which is Q3, is 85. So hopefully you write this down in your blanks on your paper. And then your max, which is your upper extreme, is 100. So we enter the data into our calculator, and our calculator spit out the answer for us. It helped us out. You have to know which one's what.
Which is which?
So you have the minimum, lower quartile, the median, upper quartile, and upper extreme, or max. Okay? So now, what we're going to do is, let's bring it back in here. Let's create our box and whisker plot. So again, your lower extreme, you should have 40 here, 47.5, 67.5, 185. Upper quartile, this was Q3. This was max. This was min. And then this was Q1. So the lower extreme was 40, so I'm going to put a dot right here, 40. Your lower quartile is 47.50, so I'm going to put a dot here. Your median was 67.5. And your upper quartile, 85. And your max was 100. And so from that, I create my box, there's my median, and then I do my whiskers. Okay? And that's what you call a box and whisker plot. One of the things that you can figure out from this box and whisker plot is your, what we call an IQR, the interquartile range, which goes from here to here. Your Q1 and Q3, that's your interquartile range. And you can figure that out by taking Q3 minus Q1, gives you your IQR. So that's how you create a box and whisker plot using your data, using your calculator, labeling it here, and with your data here. Thank you very much.